Hello, I'm Beth. I had a tarot video lined up that I was going to do, but it's Thursday and I post on Fridays, and my Wi-Fi just isn't great in terms of uploading. So a tarot reading that I do like 3 piles, it's about an hour long, and this was me. I haven't even edited it yet. Gosh, I can't even talk. So even if it got cut down to like 48 minutes, it would still take, it just depends. It could completely upload over one night, or it could take 3 days. And I don't really want to risk the 3 days waiting for it to upload, so here I am. I'm doing something simple. I can fill you in. If you've been keeping up, you probably know that I have been preparing for something here called the fandemonium. It's essentially an art fair where obviously you take your art and you can sell it. And I signed up. It's coming up September 24th, and I've been crafting and drawing like crazy because I'm trying to get as much done as I can for the fandemonium, because I have some old art prints from last year that I still want to sell, but I wanted some updated pieces, so I've been cramming, trying to get inspiration and figure out ideas so I can, have a few new things. So anyways, that's what I've been doing, and it hasn't been exciting to record because I've also been making those same trash cans, which, if you know me at all, which you probably don't, hi, I'm Beth. I made a video where I made trash cans out of trash, which is like cardboard. I wrapped it in paper. It's like so much tacky glue, and then I painted it. And I showed it to a few friends and family members, and for some reason they were impressed with my trash, and they were like, you should sell that at the fandemonium. So I was like, okay. So I have been making those, is what I'm getting at, and I've already showed you the process, and I just don't know. I mean, I guess I could show you again and like tell stories while I make these trash cans, and I don't know. I don't think that, whatever, for something for me is not computing, and I'm like, I just think I have to focus and not be like talking while I'm working on said trash cans. And then like drawing, sometimes I think I could do like voiceovers when I do my drawing stuff, but I don't know. Then that's, recording everything I'm drawing and then editing that and then having a voiceover. That almost sounded like too much work, like for now, just because I have so much going on at the moment. So instead I'm doing something simple this week. Hopefully this is going to be like a short little video here, so I can upload it quickly. That's what I was getting at with my tarot stuff. They're just too long, and if I start uploading them, Wednesday's about the minimum. Like, I should be uploading on Wednesday. That's when my video should be processing, because it takes so long. But shorter videos, I can almost guarantee I can upload that overnight and everything will be fine. Because I've been wanting to write my story too, The Reap What You Sow, and give you some more chapters of that. But it's so hard to focus on like putting myself in a story when I have all this stuff going on. My new catchphrase for the past couple months have been, after the fandemonium. Like, I'll do this other stuff and my videos won't be so random here anymore. Well, I can't guarantee that. So that's the other thing. If you don't know me, which you probably don't, I do have mostly crafting videos up right now, but I don't want that to be all my channel consists of, because I am an artist. I'd like to share some of my art, maybe tips, or story time while I draw, and then stories in general. I like to write. I'm not going to claim I'm a good writer, but I will claim that I have the ideas. I have the story ideas. I will admit, I feel like my writing style, it's not terrible, it just needs work, and I've been doing it for a really long time, but I've been doing it alone, not a lot of feedback, not a lot of any of that, so it is hard to improve when you are your only critic. And I do criticize my stuff pretty hard, but then it's like you criticize it and you have to learn how to fix it all by yourself. I guess that's the point of being self-taught. That's what I did for art too. I didn't really have a teacher. I didn't take classes aside from what I did in high school. So everything I do is what I'm getting at. Self-taught. I'm not perfect in anything I do. And that's something I have to consistently tell myself. So that being said, for my channel, I would like to upload my stories. And I want to do another dream video. I just, again, with the fandemonium stuff, I cannot focus on drawing all those pictures and writing the story, and I just don't, like, I have time, but it's not time I should be using on that, you know? It all should be going to the fandemonium. So I'm taking a break right now just to record this video, and I thought I could do some show and tell of my art. Sorry, I don't know why I said that weird. Anyways, just everything I do is weird and wrong, and I'm sorry, but whatever, it's just who I am. I gave one bookmark away, so I don't have the other one, but this was something I painted recently. My friend was nice enough to let me use her watercolor paper and some of her watercolors, and we just had an evening where we painted. And it was a lot of fun. I haven't watercolored in a long time, or water painted, I should say. Watercolored. So it was fun to try and get back into it, and this one in particular, this was like, we sat down to paint, and I was like, I have no idea what to do, and I was trying to look for references on my phone, and I found a carousel, and so that's what I did for that. This is my character, Lula. She is part of a story with this character I have named Mr. Griffith. He's got like a pumpkin head. He can grow and like control this magic gold stuff. I won't go into too much detail on that because that is a story I'd like to write and share that way, but this is the one story that I really want to write, but I'm just not sure of. I don't know. I have to get over some of the ideas that like people are gonna criticize this and this about your story because I don't know. Whatever. I struggle getting over that hurdle. Like, there's gonna be people out there who hate it. But, I have to remember there will be people who also like it. So, I need to figure out how to focus on that. Because I get so demotivated to write, because I'm like, my writing style is kind of shitty, and my writing isn't great, and, like, I have the stories, but I put it on paper, and I'm like, no, it sounds like garbage. But like I said, with Reap What You Sow, especially when I've had my friend come over to record, because he voices Ares Ishtan, it was helpful to read stuff out loud with him. Even if he didn't notice it, like, I would notice things when someone else spoke it out loud. I was like, I had like the 3 same words in one sentence, and I don't know how I don't notice even when I'm skimming and editing. It's different though when you hear it speaking out loud. And then even listening to myself read my stories, and then I listen back to it when I'm editing, and I'm like, oh, this and this could be different, and that probably would have sounded better. So I do feel like I have improved somewhat I only have 3 chapters up, but the first 2 were kind of like, eh. The third one, the 3rd chapter, I felt like it sounded really good, so I was pretty happy with myself. Anyways, sometimes I feel like rambling about my stories, but again, I don't know how much that interests people, and I don't want to, it's probably like, Beth, just tell the story and stop, like, summarizing everything about it. But writing is hard, okay? Anyways, and then my next painting, this was one I did last night. Of course, it's Andy Black. I just think he's really cool. He does the coolest photo shoots. I just love his style. I just think he's neat. Anyways, I don't know if you've seen in the background when I'm in my craft room, I have several paintings of him that I've done, because I don't know what it is. There's just something about him that I'm like inspired by, and then, well, I paint him. So Thanks, Andy Black, you're my muse. Anyways, and then this is Saint. He is another character of mine. It's kind of dark in here, so it's a little hard to tell, but whatever. He's one, his story, this is one I really need to work on. Each story I have is part of this big timeline, and I have like this whole timeline here, and like the world here, and then his story like veers off up here, so it's part of everything, but like a standalone, I guess. But you know, it'll still have like little information pieces that will relate to other parts of the other stories. Anyways, that being said, I kind of have a general idea, like who he is, like where he came from. But initially, his story was about like his species being wiped out, and he's the only one left because he gets like possessed by this thing that destroyed his planet and his people. But I don't know, that's starting to sound too Superman-ish, you know. So it's hard to avoid it's hard to not avoid, it's hard to achieve something incredibly original that like no one's ever heard before, because I feel like at this point it's almost like every story has been told and now it's being retold with different characters, slightly tweaked, you know. But I still don't want it to be too reminiscent of well, just that, like something that already exists. I want it to be able to mostly stand alone so people don't go, hey, that reminds me of. No. And this one was, it was like a postcard I was going to send to a cousin of mine. She just went off to college. So, yeah, that's what I started out with last night. I was doing this. I spent way too long doodling all those flowers for that little phrase right there. I got like halfway through the F and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I already started, so it's too late. And, oh, I do have something over here. This is not done. This was something I was working on for the fandemonium, a new print, drawing, what have you. I don't know, it was going to just be pen, and then I had the brilliant idea to shade in something with a marker, and I feel like as soon as I shaded in with a marker, like, everything else looked flat. Like, now I feel like I have to color the whole freaking thing. Because, I don't know, there were parts of it that looked like they were blending in with the background, and now that she's colored and her hair's starting to get colored, I feel like this house is kind of washed out. So, I don't know. My friend did let me borrow her watercolor markers, and I was considering just, like, doing a little bit of shading, like, where these shutters are and stuff, and just fill in a little bit, to give it a little more depth so it matches this other stuff. But I'm still undecided. I don't really know, because I liked this at first, and now it's kind of like it's become too much work. And not that that's bad, but I should say it's become too much work for something that I'm consistently disliking. You know, like I keep adding stuff, I'm like, well, now that looks weird, now that looks off, now I have to fix that. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about it. But, we'll see. I'll probably still try to finish it. It'll probably be one of my last minute things that I decide to finish up. Ooh, my iPad's about to die. Better hurry this up. Hopefully you'll be able to see this, and I know I should probably just like put up the image itself. Maybe I'll do that instead. But this is Mr. Griffith, him and his pumpkin head. He runs a business in this realm that, he has to take care of. I have this series of characters who have not a human head, you know, and each one have their own realm that they have to upkeep. Don't ask me what that means yet, I don't really know. This is another section I still have to work on. But, they unintentionally, they insulted these trio of gods, and these gods basically removed their old identity, aka their head, giving them something else, and then casting them into their own realms, which are basically like their own, like a personal hell, I suppose, something inescapable. And not only is it inescapable, you have to do a certain task or thing to keep the realm up and going, and if you don't, if the realm withers, so do you. So it's a very exhausting little game, and I have one character in particular who's like a private investigator, and he's able to sneak out of the realms unbeknownst to these gods, and he's trying to figure out who else is out there and how can he like permanently escape this realm so he's no longer tied to it, because that's the thing, he can sneak out of the realm but he's still like connected to it, so he still has to upkeep his job or whatever. So anyway, there's that. So that's like in the background of Mr. Griffith's story. And I feel like that's kind of where I want to hint at an ending of the private investigator's name is Keen, K-E-E-N. Maybe him finding them or calling him, because he has a way of like connecting through technology, which is funny because he doesn't understand it at all, but that's like to contact people outside of his realm. His calls go through to other people's phones, their computers, whatever. And that's kind of how Mr. Griffith works too. He can like send an email contacting these other people like, hey, I see you need help. I'll do that for you if you do this for me. And you get roped into this deal where you essentially get tricked into working for him forever. So stuff like that. I just think, and then hinting at the end with Keen being like, hey, so I heard you like got out of your realm or whatever, how did you do that? And I think we need to face these gods and take them out. So stuff like that. That's a very small section of some of my stories. I guess that's what I'm closing with. You got to hear a little bit about my stories and see some of my art. And that's all I have this week. I do apologize, I don't have another crafting video at the moment, or my tarot, which I do want to do some more of those in the future, but right now it's just, maybe I can edit the one I have this week and have it up for next week. We'll see what I do, because that's the other thing. Editing, sometimes it can take an hour, sometimes it can take me 4 hours. It really depends. Excuse me. So, anyways, what I'm telling you is I don't know what I'm gonna have for you next week. I just kind of work by the seat of my pants at the moment. Like today, I'm like desperate. Here's this video. Enjoy. So, I was just here to like check in with you all, have a little chat, and yeah, that's it. I'm sorry the lighting is bad. That's just this room. I have shitty lighting in here. And it's kind of a work in progress. I've been painting, hence this big tarp I have behind me. I didn't want you to see all my trash. And anyways, that's the end of that. Thank you for talking with me and hanging out a little bit. I hope you enjoyed our little chat, and I will see you next time. Bye.